All right, Pennsylvania Patriots, I need your full attention for the next few minutes because tomorrow morning, the Pennsylvania House Judiciary Committee is voting on another dangerous package of gun control bills. And it's happening tomorrow morning. This isn't theory. This isn't a rumor. It's on the official committee schedule for tomorrow. And if we don't act fast, these bills could move before most Pennsylvanians even know what hit them. Again, I'm Chris Dorr. I'm the director here for the Pennsylvania Firearms Association. But I want to dive in and unpack these bills just a moment here because they've packed this agenda with over a dozen bills. But buried deep inside are multiple gun control bill schemes that are designed to strip you of your rights without a conviction, create a digital registry of every gun and gun owner in the state, and criminalize speech. So welcome in here. Just a moment. I'm going to make sure that all the audio and everything is working on this. Just going to double check here. Yeah, it looks like it's all working. So again, it's very important that you guys take action. I'm going to drop a link into the comment section for you guys to email the Judiciary Committee. And it's very important that you do that because it has had success already so far this year. One of the biggest bills that they try to pass already this year was red flag gun confiscation. We stopped that bill by one single vote. So everything we do right now to drive up the cost for these radical left commie gun grabbers to pass their gun control pays massive benefits, especially if it gets out of the House and over to the Senate. We want to make it as politically painful as possible for House Republicans and Democrats to let this get passed so that the Senate Republicans get the idea if they do it too, there will be hell to pay. So let's dive in really quickly. I'm going to keep this video kind of short today. Let's start with House Bill 1891. This is the first bill that's on the docket for tomorrow. This bill forces every gun dealer in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to submit firearm sale and transfer records electronically to the state police. Now, they are going to tell you that this is just modernization, but you and I both know what that means. It's a registry. It's a database. Once the records are digitized, it's permanent, it's searchable, it's shareable, and under a Democrat governor, under Josh Shapiro, and under any future legislature, they can just flip a switch and use that database to target, flag, or confiscate firearms from law-abiding gun owners. We have seen this before. The ATF lied about keeping a database, right? They're prohibited from keeping a database, but the truth came out. It later came out that they had over 69 million records stored electronically. That's what they're trying to do tomorrow in the Pennsylvania House. But I want to be clear, when they tell you, don't worry, this isn't a registry, just remember that. They said the same thing in D.C., and they were caught red-handed. I don't trust these commie bastards. I don't trust Josh Shapiro. I don't trust any of them to be telling us the truth. And so that's what this bill is. HB 1891 is registry by accumulation, and it's one vote away from advancing tomorrow. Then there's what I'll just call the civil confiscation package of gun control bills. There's 5 bills included here. They're all moving together. They expand the so-called protection from abuse and protection from intimidation law that we already have on the books here in the Commonwealth, which I would say are unconstitutional already. Listen to what these 5 bills do. HB 1432 expands abuse to include emotional distress. That's not going to be abused, is it? That means that you can lose your gun rights over feelings instead of facts. And a lot of times the feelings aren't feelings whatsoever. They're simply a something that a batshit crazy ex is doing to gin up support for their divorce case against you or their child custody court case against you. So HB 1432 expands PFA orders to include emotional distress. Okay, that's the first one. HB 1476 extends protections from intimidation orders to adults, creating an entirely new civil mechanism to disarm people without a criminal conviction. Again, this is the basis of red flag laws. This is exactly what they want to do. All of these bills are designed so that the left can disarm their political opponents without being bothered by a gun owner ever being charged, tried, or convicted of a crime. It totally destroys due process. That's what HB 1476 says. Let's talk about HB 1479. It lets judges pile on these new restrictions like digital and social media bans. They literally, as part of these orders, they can ban you from talking on social media, and then if you do violate that, then you're in violation of your order, and now you're in further jeopardy of losing your gun rights simply because you make a Facebook post. Absolute insanity, and it's totally unconstitutional. That's HB 1479. HB 1908 is another one of the 5 of this package. It orders police to flag PFA-related arrests into national databases within 24 hours, even if the accusations are false. So if you have a PFA order against you, your local police department, your local law enforcement is forced to upload that stuff into the NCIC database within 24 hours, regardless if the accusations are false. Good luck getting your name taken off of that database, by the way. You're now a federally prohibited person. The last one, I think, is HB 1909 that upgrades minor offenses to felonies if they happen while you're under one of these civil orders. So let's say you get one of these civil orders, you're banned from making social media posts. HB 1909 then comes along and upgrades those minor offenses to felonies if it happens while you're under one of these civil orders. So they're literally layering these things so that if you make a minor infraction here, it classifies you at the felony level, and now your gun rights it's a permanent prohibited person. You're permanently prohibited from owning a gun. That's the strategy here. They're expanding civil paperwork and civil charges, low-level offenses, into criminal-level punishments. They're building a system here where you can lose your rights, you can lose your firearms, you can lose your reputation without ever being convicted of a crime. It's government control through civil orders and emotional standards. And just the idea of that is insane, because you look at some of these mental health professionals that all work in these various state bureaucracies. These people are psychopaths themselves. They come from totally destroyed families. They are family destroyers themselves. That's what this is. It's government control through civil orders and emotional standards, not evidence, not guilt. No charges, no trial. Certainly, it's the destruction of due process. That's exactly what they're pushing tomorrow in this House Judiciary Committee hearing that's happening. So, but there's another part of this. There's part 3, I guess you could call it. This is the speech to felony creep that's going on in not just in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, but all across the country. There's HB 1935. This bill expands Pennsylvania's terroristic threats laws, especially in the context of schools. Now, nobody here supports threats or violence. Well, the left does. Now, we saw that after Charlie Kirk, right? They reveled in the innocent blood of Charlie Kirk being spilled. But that's not the point here. The point is how broadly they are defining and expanding the definition of threat. Under bills like this one, I'll get the bill number here. It's HB 1935. Under bills like this, a heated social media post, a sarcastic comment, or even political speech can be twisted into a terroristic threat. We see it all the time, right? They accuse anybody who supports President Trump of being a Nazi. You know, they support, they label free speech, the kind that Charlie Kirk did and exercised all the time, as terroristic, right? And once these threats, once these accusations are made, your rights are gone for life. That is the speech to felony pipeline. That's exactly what the radical left is trying to erect here in America, definitely here in the Commonwealth. They want to erect this system that punishes anybody who does not toe the line for their agenda. It's the total targeting of their political opposition. They can't beat us in the courtroom. They can't beat us at the ballot box. So they are trying to redefine dissent as a crime. That's what they're doing here. That's kind of the bigger picture. Let's put it all together. And it's when you put it all together, it's obvious what they're doing. This isn't a series of random bills. It is a coordinated, multi-front attack on the right to keep and bear arms. That's what this is. HB 1891 builds the digital infrastructure, the registration, the database. The PFA package expands civil disarmament through accusations and emotion. And HB 1935 wraps it all up by punishing speech and labeling citizens as threats. That's the formula for tyranny. Data, disarmament, dissent suppression. These are the tools of tyrants. That's exactly what this is. They're turning the Pennsylvania judicial system into an assembly line for gun confiscation. And I'm telling you folks right now, they will not stop unless we stop them. So this vote is tomorrow. It's not next week. It's not next month. It's tomorrow morning. If you're watching this, please stop scrolling. I'm going to drop the link in the comment section. Please stop scrolling and take action right now. Click the link that's included with this video. Go to the link in this post and email your state representative, email the members of this Judiciary Committee, and tell them to vote no on HB 1891, HB 1432, 1476, 1479, 1908, 1909, and 1935. Tell them you refuse to let emotional accusations become a substitute, a prostitution of due process. Tell them you reject any database that tracks or records law-abiding gun owners like we're a bunch of sex offenders. That's them, not us. And tell them you will not accept a government that punishes speech while ignoring real criminals, because that's exactly what they do. That's exactly what Larry Krasner does in Philadelphia. He's ripped a page right out of the Bolshevik playbook, and he has turned the criminal population loose on we the people. We got to stop this, because once the government builds the system, it never gives it back willingly. So this is our line in the sand, folks. No registry, no civil disarmament, no destruction of due process, no compromise. So tomorrow's vote is going to show us which legislators still believe in freedom, which ones are still willing to sell it all off. And that's going to happen. So stand tall. That's tomorrow. Stand tall, Pennsylvania. Contact your legislators. Share this video with every gun owner you know, because like I said just a moment ago, they are not going to stop unless we stop them.